Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the garage. Tonight we're doing another install on the M3. So as you guys know, this is a car that's going to be going to the track here soon. One of the most important things that you can do to your car before you go to the track is safety. So consider safety mods like a #1 thing to do. Some of those include brakes. I consider brakes safety. You want to be able to stop. Interior, so maybe a cage, seats, harness, all safety. Check your tires, all that kind of stuff. That's #1 thing to check before you go to the track. You want to make sure that you're not going to have any failures. You want to make sure that you're going to be able to stop well, that you're protected on the interior, all that kind of stuff. So we're out there to have fun, but most importantly, we want to be safe. Tonight, we're going to do one of those mods, and that is installing a roll cage. So it's going to be quite a lengthy process here. First thing we're going to have to do, remove the rear seats. So the cage is not going to, the cage passes through the back here. So rear seats need to come out. We will get those out of the vehicle. We're gonna head over to my buddy's house. He has quick jacks there, so we're gonna go ahead and work together and we're gonna get this cage installed. So this shouldn't be too difficult. Should take us a couple of hours, maybe 4, maybe 5 hours. The holes in the rear are already there. All we'll have to do is drill the floor mats and the carpet and down into the bottom. I'll show you guys all that while we do the install. Other than that, we're gonna go ahead and get started on removing the rear seats. I'll walk you through that and then we can drive over to his house, get the cage all installed. Let's show you how to get the rear out. Okay, so the first thing we can do, these floor mats will not be able to stay in the car. Unfortunately, they're very cool, but since the cage mounts right down in here in this corner, we're not gonna be able to run the carpets as they sit. This is the wrong side, but they sit right here in the corner and the bar goes right here. So we could trim them, but I don't really feel like doing that. So let's go ahead and get these out. Next, we're gonna remove the bottom seat here. This is really simple. All you're gonna do is yank up. Do it on the other side. So just yank up and now the bottom of the seat's loose. Now, I can't do this part with one hand, but all we're gonna do is there's some like little hooks, little loops that the bottom passes through. So you're just gonna tilt the block out and it slides right up and out. If you have the heated seats in the rear, there's a heating element underneath here. You can see it right there. We're gonna go ahead and get this unplugged from this module. There's one on either side. Then this thing's free and we can just pull it right out. All right, now that we got the bottom all out, looks pretty clean underneath here. We're gonna go ahead and get these side bolsters out. So, if I remember right, these just pull out with a little bit of force. All right, I put you guys back down just because I needed a second hand. But so these do remove just by pulling it out. It helps to put the seat down. But if you're gonna put the seat down, one thing to note is that these hooks underneath here, you don't want these to damage where they sit and impact on the seat. So get a thick towel, place it over here so that when you lay the seat down like this, it's resting on the towel and not gonna damage the front of your seat. So we're gonna go ahead and get the other side off as well. And then down here, there is a bracket right here, and I don't remember what size Torx that is, but I'll let you know once I figure it out. You're gonna take that out, the same as on the other side, get those out, and then we will be able to get the center bar out. Okay, so both of these bolts are out on either side. They are a T50 screw. So the next thing we're gonna have to do is work around the attachment here, how it's on this metal bracket. So one side will come out one way, the other will come out the other direction. Basically, you just have to work it off of this little knob here, where both seats are connected. I've heard you can just, I think you just pull from one side and yank it and you're able to knock it free, but I'm gonna go ahead and work on this. I'll get these out and I'll let you know what way works. Got this one out really easily. All I did was pull. So for anybody that's wondering, you can see you just need to get it over this little nub right here. So you just need to pull from one side, but don't forget there's a sensor on this one. It's not a sensor. This is actually the heating element for the back. And then this is the middle plug here on this. So just gonna take out this sensor or this wired connection, feed it through here, and then this will become ready to come out. And then this side will just pull right through here and I'll have the same connection to take out. Well, that was super simple. So with the entire back seats removed, all we ended up needing was one small flathead to get the clips out and a T50 to get either bolt out here on the side. Other than that, the entire back seat is out. We are ready to get the cage installed. I'm gonna leave these side panels out. With the cage installed though, we're gonna be able to reinstall those. I know a lot of cages mount here, and that way you just leave off the side panel, but you can maintain the rear seats. But these will actually use a panel right there that we're gonna have to trim the carpet for. There's actually a stock brace right there. So you're gonna remove that brace, and then the cage acts as the new brace, and that's where it'll attach. But that means it goes through the seats. No longer gonna be able to use those. Technically, I could put the bottom back in. It just looks a little funky. You still can't sit back here anyway. We're all cleaned up now. We're gonna go ahead and get everything loaded up. We'll head to Tyler's house and we'll get the cage installed. So I'll see you guys there. So one thing I forgot to mention that this car has is the comfort access. And what that is anytime you get in the car, just before you start the car or as you start the car, when you open the door, the seat moves back. And then when you start the car, the seat moves forward. And that's just to make it a little bit easier. As we're gonna be putting the cage back here, and it'll literally sit right behind the seat. We don't want it to do that anymore because it will interfere with the cage as we open the door, and it'll rub against the cage, and we don't wanna make any marks on the seat or on the cage. What we're gonna do, we're gonna be using Beamer code, and right now you can see it's identifying control units, but we're gonna be coding that out. So you can change the distance. So we're just gonna change it to 0 millimeters worth of travel. And that way, once the cage is installed, we don't have any issues. It's in the module called Seat Module Driver, Entry Seat, or Easy Entry Seat Movement. It's right here, it's the top. So it's active. So we're just gonna go, we're gonna change it to only 10 millimeters. So now it'll only move back 10 millimeters, and that should be fine. That's that's 1 centimeter. So that should be almost no movement. We'll be good from there. So we're just gonna hit code, start coding. We're in accessory mode, so we have the ignition on. We have the seatbelt on. This is the same as when we tune the car. We hit start, it's already finishing. Restarting the ECU. And coding successful. I'm gonna disconnect this and head over to Tyler's house. Go ahead and get this cage installed. Okay, so here's the cage. We got paint matched. Kind of skipped a few steps, but you see in the back here we have slots cut out. This is the brace that I was talking about that you remove. And you put the cage connected to there. We have the carpet pulled up. This is where the bottom of the cage is gonna mount. So we're gonna get it all lined up. That way we can get the holes lined up in here. So you need to remove these wiring harnesses, just remove the plugs, and then we can open up this area, slide everything in. You wanna make it sure it's all lined up first. That way the holes line up properly and everything lines up when you go to put it together. So we're gonna slide the front in, get the measurements taken, and then we can drill these holes. Okay, so now we have the main hoop in. It's just attached temporarily up here. And on the other side, we have the back sides locked in. So now we can measure. As you can see, it goes underneath this wiring loom. So we're gonna measure these, make sure everything is where we want it to be. We can make our marks. We'll tap the hole, get it started, and then we'll take this bar back out. And then we go ahead and drill the holes, and then we can throw everything back in. So Tyler's punching that right now. We got this side already done. We'll take this back out and we can go ahead and get these holes drilled. So we got the car up in the air now. This side's all done. We got the 4 holes drilled all the way through. Looking good, so this side's ready. This side will be next. We got the under panels off so that we can reach the bottom. These plates will go underneath the cage and they match the bottom. So you're gonna put these through and it's like a sandwich plate so that you can just bolt it back up. We'll be good to go. So the holes are drilled. We got this back up. They're all lined up on both sides. Now all we gotta do, get that piece thrown back in here, tighten everything up. Probably gonna leave the carpet uncut for tonight, but we'll get these back on and then we can get that sandwich plate from the underside. We'll get these tightened up here in the corners and we'll be good to go. Okay, so now we got this bar back in. All of these are tight. We tighten the tops up here, over here, on this side. So you can see it's starting to take shape in here. So next thing we gotta do, we gotta install those sandwich plates. So keep these wires out of the way. We'll have somebody lay underneath while we thread them on both sides, but this is how it's gonna look. So pretty cool. This is from a company called Walker Pro. I think they're in San Antonio, but the fitment up here is super, super tight. And this is what you want. Not touching as close as possible. She's in there, looking pretty good. We're gonna get this tightened up real quick. Cage is all installed. Everything's tightened up. Next thing we're just working on is cutting this carpet so that it fits around the cage here. And we have a clean look. So just measuring the holes over here. We're gonna mark holes and then we'll cut them. But everything is put back. Only thing we're missing is this side trim, but we have to wait for the carpet here. Just got this side finished up. So just basically looks like it was meant to be there. Completely OEM looking. Fits in that corner perfectly. So just the second side left. And then I think we're all set. So cage is installed. Just finishing up the last little details. So here we go, all finished up. This side's done, that side's also completed. Got all the carpet cut, everything laid back, all the trim put in. Like I said, these back side bolsters, I'm gonna put these back in when I get home. They'll just pop back in. Unsure if I'm gonna tuck the seatbelt in or away, whatnot. All this stays, all these seatbelts stay. I might remove them just to kind of clean it up whether you're thinking about doing a rear seat delete, but it's all on here. Everything's installed. Looks super, super good. Well, there you go, guys. Cage is fully installed. Everything's all set. Everything's all tucked. We got it back there. Looking super, super cool. So, looks super cool. Just have a little light illuminating inside right now, but everything's good. Everything's all tied up. So we got the carpets all cut. So, carpets all cut. Everything's tucked. Turned out really well. Everything's tight. So, it's not going anywhere. Looks super, super good. We got a extinguisher bracket on here. This is from OEM Extinguishers as well. So if you're interested in this, come to him. This is actually paint matched mineral white as well. Let me know if you're interested in one of these. Go hit him up. Follow him on Instagram, OEM Extinguishers. Got the cage installed, all finished. Here you go. You can see it from the back. Looks super clean back there. Hey guys, so we're back here. It's the next day. We're back in the garage. Got the cage all finished up. Everything's installed. Everything looks good. We got all the carpets cut, like I mentioned. So what we ended up doing here is we ended up measuring from the edge of the cage over and down, and then we marked the same on the carpet over and down, made a mark, drilled out a hole, and then we used a hole saw to cut out the back foam, and then we used a razor blade to trim the carpet, made a line up the side of the carpet, and look at that. Looks pretty dang good. So got the fitment looking tight. Everything looks good. So the last piece we're gonna do here real quick is we're gonna inside these side bolsters. It just cleans up some of this open metal right here. So these are just gonna clip back in and then we'll be all good. So let's go ahead and throw those in. So here, this piece just has these little metal like hook looking things here on the bottom. One here, one here. So let's pull the carpet, pull the seatbelts out. We're gonna get one hook on the bottom here. This neck hook goes right in here. Make sure this top pin aligns. And we're in. So that's all that takes. Make sure you keep the seat belt over the top. So we're all the way down, lines up, and clicks in. That's all it takes to install this. And you can see it really just kind of cleans up the back here. So just makes it look all more OEM. So there we go. Like I said, I'm still thinking about this rear seat delete. Gonna go ahead and get that other side thrown on over there. Otherwise, we're all finished. So there you go, cage installed. Like I mentioned, this cage is from Walker Pro Motorsports, WPM. They're down here in South Texas. I believe they're in San Antonio. So they built this cage. It's a motorsport cage, really good fitment all the way around. Everything looks really, really good. The fitment's super tight underneath. If you could tell, you have to go underneath the wiring harness, which is different. Most of them are just gonna pull those plates further in where you don't have to mess with sliding underneath the wiring harness, or they just sit on top of the carpet. But you definitely want to be underneath the carpet. The Walker Pro also comes with those sandwich plates underneath. Those are super key in distributing the load and the force when you squeeze against the bottom of the car. That way you have a super solid mounting point. Super excited with that. We also got this fire extinguisher. Like I said, this is from OEM Extinguishers. This is his cage bracket. Also painted in mineral white to paint match. This matches the extinguisher that's underneath the front seat. Show you guys that one. So it matches this extinguisher as well. Can never be too safe. Now we're one step closer to being ready to go to the track. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.